Welcome back to the Los Angeles Coliseum. Bruce Flanders along with Larry Huffman, and we're ready for the main event. The front row looks like this. Row number 1, number 18, John Swift, and number 10, Sherman Balch. Swift in a Ford, Balch in a Nissan. Then Steve Millen, a Toyota. Danny Thompson, a Chevrolet. Rod Millen, a Mazda. Roger Mears, a Nissan. Glenn Harris, a Mazda. Jeff Huber, a Ford. Walker Evans, a Dodge. Ivan Stewart, a Toyota. Spencer Lowe, a Nissan. Mike Falkowski, a Toyota. Tom Halliburton, a Mazda, and Billy Moore in a Chevrolet. What a lineup, Larry.
14-truck main event, Bruce Flanders. The largest field ever, twice the size of the heat races. Remember, the heats determine the starting position. All trucks are lined up for the main event.
50-some-odd thousand people here in the Los Angeles Coliseum, and a green flag on the premier event, and it looks like John Swift has got his Popeye fried chicken Ford out in front of the field.
Swift, a beautiful start, goes out in front, then into the left-hand hairpin, and he gets nudged, and out in front goes Sherman Balch.
Boy, if that's nudging, I'd hate to see when they hit each other. Look at that. It is Millen getting really wasted out of this deal. So also is Swift, but now they're well back. And out in front, Sherman Balch, number 10, the Nissan factory racing truck.
That's right. It is Sherman Balch out in front, flying off that peristyle, and he has flown further than anybody else here tonight, Bruce. He is out in front, number 10, Sherman Balch.
Definitely been getting some air as they re-enter the Coliseum. Sitting in the second place is the number 4. That's Danny Thompson with the Chevrolet that won a heat race earlier, and right with him is the Ford of
Huber, the Chief Auto Parts Ford, slams into Thompson, goes into second spot ahead of Danny Thompson, and there's the back straightaway. Out in front, Balch, and that is Huber running in second spot, and Danny Thompson in third.
Balch making hay while the sun shines. He's opened up now about a 2-second lead as the rest of them come over this hard terrain. Balch now individually over these one-on-one type of jumps, and he sets back up for that left-hand hairpin. Here comes Huber with that hard-running Ford, with what's left of that Ford, and Thompson right behind him in the Chevrolet.
Huber, and out of Apple Valley, California, and watch out because there is Ivan Stewart moving up.
And it was a bump once again as it looks like the Chevrolet and the Ford tangled with each other. Meanwhile, the Nissan out in front, and the crowd's going nuts as these guys hammer the throttle.
The peristyle, the unique peristyle, the Los Angeles Coliseum, as they wend their way around the serpentine course. And there is Danny Thompson, number 4, and losing body parts as he goes around that left-hand turn. Huber right behind him.
And now running out in front of it. Look at, there it is. Balch well in front. The Chevrolet in second of Thompson. The Ford in the third place spot. Then a Toyota. And then finally a Nissan in the fifth place spot. And that's Roger Mears.
Sherman Balch, Nissan factory truck, about $160,000 worth of Nissan out there in front, sponsored in part by Fontana Nissan. He's having a few problems, but very few problems, as he stays out in front.
Climbing the 70-foot climb out of the peristyle end of the Coliseum, where he's got 3 different portholes to choose from. He takes the one in the middle. That's been the good line. Now the big left-hand sweeper, and re-enter the Coliseum once again, and on his tail, Thompson with the Chevrolet. Look at that air time.
Boy, he is getting air 70 feet down to the floor of the Coliseum to the cold night air, but the crowd favorite Bruce Flanders has got to be Danny Thompson. He is getting the people standing up on their feet. He's in second spot right now in that Excite battery number 4 Chevrolet.
And that Chevrolet makes a lot of ground back up on this back straightaway area. There he is flying in pursuit of Sherman Balch. By the way, Larry, let me point out, Sherman Balch was the winner in the big event that they ran at Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego just earlier this year.
Sherman Balch, Sherman Tank Balch out in front, right behind him, Danny Thompson, and Thompson seems to have the horsepower edge, Bruce, as he moves up behind Balch into that left-hander.
It's a Nissan, a Chevrolet, and then a Ford running in the top 3 spots at the moment. And again, it's climb out of the Coliseum time for Sherman Balch. Horsepower to the ground. Look at that shot as he gets air out of the Coliseum.
Meanwhile, back in the pack, Steve Millen, who was running almost dead last after tangling in the front in the start, is working his way up. He is into 8th spot. Sherman Balch in front.
By the way, one other thing, too, there was a change just this last... Ooh, a little bicycle there by Balch. A change in the rules this year. They have now made rear-view mirrors illegal. The reason behind that, they don't want to have that defensive kind of driving when someone is attempting to make a pass.
Might point out that these trucks all run roll cages in case of a rollover. They know they're going to roll over. That's Sherman Balch, number 10 in front, and look at Danny Thompson is on the gas. This guy is moving up behind Balch.
He has cut the lead in half right now, and the Chevrolet making such good torque as it did earlier in the heat race is closed up now to what? They're going to touch right there. That's how close it is for first and second place right now.
Danny Thompson again slams into Sherman Balch, and he's making Balch nervous. What he's doing now is trying to psych him out. Meanwhile, back in the middle of the pack, running about 5th spot, is number 1 Roger Mears, and Mears is losing body parts.
Boy, body parts starting to come off of several of these different ones, but Roger in a real bad way. Again, we look at Sherman Balch re-entering the Coliseum. He has headed this thing since the very first lap, and it looks like it's his at the moment.
Sherman Balch, number 10, getting up into traffic now with Danny Thompson on his back tire. Look out! Roger Mears goes off the track.
Roger Mears puts the other factory Nissan out into the weeds, if there are any, here at the Coliseum, and recovers. But number 15 went by him. That's Rod Millen in the Mazda truck.
The battle is up in front. Sherman Balch, and on his back tire, and this guy is all over the track. Danny Thompson in second spot. They're coming up behind Tom Halliburton. They're going to lap Halliburton.
And again, with no rearview mirrors, Halliburton doesn't know they're coming. Balch goes inside of him, driver's left-hand side, and gets by. And it looks like Thompson punted him out of the way, but he's clear of the way. Now they're blocking the whole course, Larry.
Sherman Balch going out in front and running away, but these guys don't know what's going on. That's Roger Mears, number 1.
Oh,
holy Toledo!
Now, there's no way through that course anywhere, as there's a complete log jam there. It looks like the Hollywood Freeway at rush hour. Thompson gets away from it, but he's the only one. Halliburton can't get it to refire. Coming around the outside was
Harris. Holy Toledo, the Mazda goes up in the air, and they are stuck there. The rest of the field going through. Here's Mears, and Mears apparently cutting the course.
It looks like Mears found a short way through. I got a feeling there'll be some discussion about that afterwards.
With the rules committee, Harris is sitting there saying, get me out of this, you guys. I'm stuck here. I want to race.
The corner flagman doing the best they can, but you don't want to get in there too quick with Mears with a gearbox full of reverses and first gears. Let's see if they can get him untangled. That's Halliburton on the left. He's over on his side, and he is definitely in trouble as we come back up on the same location once again. The leaders are back up to this position one more time and trying to double cut the corner and make it by as Jeff Huber, but they're not going to let him make that double cut.
He's got a problem with the front end. The wheels are in odd positions. There is number 2. Holy Toledo. That's Ivan Stewart. He's having problems trying to get around. They get around the collision of the Glenn Harris blockade there. And meanwhile, Danny Thompson trying to hold on. Oh, watch out.
Roger Mears all over the racetrack trying to close in on Danny Thompson in what should be a battle for second place. But you saw Roger Mears cut the course earlier.
Yes, he did. The rules committee is going to have something to say about that. Meanwhile, Sherman Balch, we know he is out in front into the peristyle end. Number 10, Sherman Balch in front.
And he's closing on Spencer Lowe, the third of the factory Nissan efforts. And Lowe, I imagine, would move over and let him by. But meanwhile, still, we cannot get Harris untangled there.
Finally, Glenn Harris gets pulled off, and he's still trying to get around Halliburton. If we could read his mind, Bruce, we could not say this on a family show what he is thinking.
Or Halliburton either. Here we come. We're looking at Roger Mears now, who we think is possibly in third, but probably not because of cutting the course. But he's still racing hard as they try to put Halliburton, greasy side, back down.
Smoke coming out of Danny Thompson's Chevrolet. Power steering fluid, probably. They had problems earlier. That is Danny Thompson, a yellow flatbed truck now in second spot. Roger Mears coming up, and Roger Mears goes over. And Mears, holy Toledo, the head going back and forth. He is knocked unconscious.
He's out cold, folks. Take a close-up look at that driver. He's not moving. The truck is. It's an automatic transmission. It'll still creep along, but Mears has not moved physically in that truck.
He is knocked out, and here come the other trucks around him, Bruce. They get around him. Incredible driving by that Ivan Stewart going around him.
And look at the power steering fluid burning on the headers now of Danny Thompson. He's still making plenty of good horsepower, folks, and still hanging on to the second place spot. And working on him is number 3, Steve Millen.
Millen is trying to get around. He's going to need a gas mask to do it. Meanwhile, out in front, Sherman Balch way out in front, heading to the checkered flag. Oh, look at the smoke coming out, billowing now out of the XI battery Chevy truck of Danny Thompson.
Must be a little hard to try and figure a way around him, but you don't climb up on top of him that way.
He loses more body parts, turns into a flatbed truck. That's Danny Thompson in second, trying to hold on. Steve Millen in third, but Thompson is smoking, the crowd standing and cheering. They go around Halliburton again and around Mears, still motionless inside the truck.
And we're watching those leaders come around at the last lap. Flag is now flying. Final time around.
Can he hold on? That's the question. Can Danny Thompson hold on? The power steering has spotted. Got to be giving him trouble, Bruce.
Steve Millen sticks a wheel in underneath, sticks the whole truck in underneath, and Millen has now taken over the second place spot. Thompson's got to double cut the corner. We're back on the leader now.
Sherman Balch in front and pulling away. Now it is Balch in front of the checkered flag, and Sherman Balch, Team Nissan, takes it.
Sherman Balch out of Fremont, California for the win. Steve Millen out of New Zealand second. Danny Thompson gets third. Ivan Stewart gets fourth. And we're going to come back for a victory circle, which ought to be a good one after this. Welcome back to the Los Angeles Coliseum, and boy, what a wild and woolly main event that was. Word from the medical people is that Roger Mears is okay, and so is everybody else. In fact, let's go now to the victory stand and Sherman Balch.
Have any problems at all? just off the start. I couldn't get the engine to rev up off the start. It's been bogging on the starting line. So I just did the best and then had to make up for it.
How about the mess down here in the corner?
I was fortunate there. There's a little luck in all racing. I wasn't involved right in it, and I was able to cut inside and around it, and I was able to pass one of the cars involved just before it happened. So I was fortunate there.
For Sandy Reed and Larry Huffman, this is Bruce Flanders. We hope you've enjoyed a look at the Grand National Sport Truck Division of Mickey Thompson's Off-Road Championship Grand Prix.